Day 15 of my 31-day challenge, and the question today is, what would you fight for? Well, family and freedom. I'd fight for my family and my freedom. My family, specifically my children, my grandchildren, I would take a bullet for them. I would put my life on the line for them. My children and my grandchildren are very, very important to me, as should be everybody's children and family, their connection. Now, I don't have a large family. I have 3 children, and I have 3 grandchildren, and I would definitely fight for those, any injustice that is done for them, or done to them, I should say. Any injustice that's done to those that I care about, that I love, yeah, I'd fight for them. Whether that be physical, whether that be mentally, financially, whatever it may be, I would definitely go to battle for my children and my grandchildren. I tell you, there's still an invisible bond there. So, yeah, my children, my grandchildren. What else would I fight for? I definitely would fight injustice to anyone, elderly, children, neighbors, like whoever, right? I would stand up for those factions of circumstances or people, okay? I would fight for my freedom. And I have proven that because I was willing to put my life on the line. I was willing to fight for my country because I signed up for the military. For many years I was in the military. And if I was called to go to war to fight for my country, I would have gone. Now I'm 63, my health is bad. I think I would be a detriment on the battlefield at this point, yeah. I mean, I might be able to use my knowledge to help in some way. If we were at war and there was like a call for someone who had the experience that I had, I would be willing to help. But fisticuff and on the battlefield, I think, as I said, I'd be a detriment, and I wouldn't be, I'd be in the way. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I'd be in the way. So what else would I fight for? It's because there's 2 factions, right? There's fighting mentally or fighting physically now. So we already know how I would go to battle physically and who I would go to battle physically for, okay? So my children, my grandchildren, and my freedom. What would I fight for? I would fight for justice. I would fight for peace. I would fight for education. I would fight for... And when I say freedom, that's a wide gamut. So, I would definitely fight for my freedom, both mentally, physically, spiritually. I think that we should be allowed, we should have the freedom to believe in the things that we believe in, to love who we choose to love, to be with who we choose to be with, okay? So just because society doesn't agree with something that you perhaps believe in, doesn't mean that you don't have the right to believe that, okay? Now, if that belief is crossing the line and that belief is putting someone else's freedom or somebody else's security or serenity or whatever it may be at risk, okay? If you're putting someone else's life at risk by your belief system and maybe pushing their belief system down their throat, your belief system down their throat, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. And you should know that. I mean, unless you're a child and you're just starting to, get your wings, right? As an adult, we should know that. We should be respecting other people's belief systems, other people's religions, other people's freedoms, okay? And I stand for that. But if you're crossing that line and you're crossing into infringing upon my freedoms and saying that your freedoms are more important than mine, then there's something wrong there. There's an issue there, right? So what would I fight for? I mean, basically family and freedom. So that's all I can come up with on this question. I don't think that there's really any anything else I can think of except for any type of injustice that is done to another person, another faction of people, a particular age group, even the specially challenged. I would stand up and voice my opinion to get injustices that are done to them. Like example, I mean, many years ago, there was no. If a person who was physically challenged went to the mall and they had to use the bathroom, there was no way that they could do it because the stalls were small, the doorways are small, those type of things. There wasn't easy access even to the sinks. But now there are rules put in place that are benefiting the people who have special challenges, whether it be, you're in a wheelchair, whether it be that you're walking with crutches, whatever it may be. Okay, there are special circumstances where you might need that added help with your mobility, and there are things now that are put in place to help you in that aspect if you have mobility challenges. So all I'm saying is that standing up for or fighting for doesn't necessarily mean physically fisticuff. Okay, it could be standing up for someone's rights. Okay, standing up for someone who is not respected in their rights, in their life, in their beliefs, in whatever it may be, even in education. Okay, I mean, we have the freedom, well, we should, we have the right for an education where I'm from. Okay, still, hopefully it stays that way. We have a right for an education, but you have different factions of people who have different belief systems. So they have a right for that belief, and they have a right to not do certain things. Like when I grew up, I was raised in a Catholic environment, and it was very, very strict. You had to get up, you had to pray, you had to, fold your hands in respect to the Lord. Okay, everybody's got a different way of praying. And so there were kids, I mean, it happened when I was young. I never really was in touch with any other type of religion. As I was a kid growing up, I was very kind of like sequestered in that area because I was strictly Catholic. I went to Catholic school, and I went to church, so I had that tight-knit belief system, okay? As the years went on, there has been different factions of different religious aspects that are coming into the schools, and we need to acknowledge those. We need to respect those. Those are beliefs of other people, and they need to be respected. So, saying that everybody has to stand up and bow their head in prayer, in some way that doesn't work anymore. In some way that doesn't work anymore because there are many, because we're a multi-tiered, cultured society. So in many ways that doesn't work. That's kind of like forcing someone to acknowledge and pray to your God. That's not right. So what they've done is they have, in my day, they had instances where we would get up to say our prayer because it was Catholic school, and children that didn't have that belief, they were allowed to leave. Actually, it wasn't a Catholic school. It was a public school. Yeah, it was a public school. I went to Catholic school in the younger years, I was 6, 7, 8 maybe, and then the rest was at a public school. So it was a wide gamut of different religious beliefs and things like that. So those children that didn't believe in the same religion were allowed to leave the room when there was... Actually, we had a class, a religion class, and the kids that didn't believe in that were allowed to leave and go to the library, and we were to stay in the class and learn religious aspects of our own religion. So I do believe in standing up for those freedoms. Physically fighting for those freedoms? No. But I would stand up and acknowledge their right to their beliefs and to be taught their beliefs. So if you're going to have a religion class in an elementary school, then you're going to need to have different religion classes. So I can understand why religion was taken out of the curriculum in the school that I was in. I can understand that. I do believe that there should be a silent moment at the beginning of any elementary school system. There should be a moment at the beginning where you acknowledge your God, whoever that God may be, where, you acknowledge that God. So a period of time where we all stand up and we all silently bow our heads and pray to our individual, respective beliefs, or God, or divine, or whatever you may call that. Okay, so a moment of silence that in our mind we praise our own God. Okay, so that's what I believe. I mean, who am I? I'm nobody, but to stand up for the freedoms of people to believe and to pray and to live the life that they choose to live, that's all part of freedom. That's all part of freedom. It goes in schools. It should be in schools. It should be in hospitals. It should be in whatever aspect of your life. You should have that freedom. Yeah. So to love who you want, to marry who you want. Okay, there are different. This is such a heavy society nowadays compared to when I was a kid. Okay, compared to when I was a kid, we had it easy compared to the stuff that's going on in the world today. So I think basically the only thing that I would fight for, mentally, physically, psychologically, standing up, belonging to a committee that helps people who have a need, is freedoms and my family. Only two things. And to me, that's sufficient. So I shall see you on day 16 of my 31-day challenge. Hopefully I haven't raised too many eyebrows or caused too much chaos in the world with my little tiny opinion that really doesn't matter because it's my opinion. So hopefully I haven't stepped into your territory and destroyed your beliefs just by my simple voicing of what I believe in. So I shall see you on day 16. The good Lord be willing.